From that day when the fire came, miracles flow like with ease. Miracles. Signs and wonders. Things are prayed for. I was summoned for 6 nights.
Welcome to the moment of truth. Please stay tuned till the end and hear the story that touches the heart from Arome Osayi. They don't see all this coming at all. They put all these lies online, and we are here to prove them wrong. Stay tuned.
Invited to Sao Paulo, Brazil. And I went by South African Airways. From Lagos, it's 5 hours to Johannesburg. From Johannesburg, it's 10 hours, 50 minutes to Sao Paulo. You're going to cross like 4 time zones. And when you arrive after your 10 hours, 50 minutes flight, your body clock would have been confused. And what I mean by that is you'll be awake when people sleep. And you'll feel sleepy when people are awake. It'll take you like 5 days for your body clock to adjust. And part of the ancient.
That's exaggeration. I've traveled from the UK to Johannesburg. It's about 22 hours. And I've traveled from UK to many parts in America. It's also about 12 hours. I've traveled from UK to where he says he traveled to Brazil. That's about 22 hours. And it didn't take me 5 days for my body to adjust. It's a lie.
That taught me, instructed me and said, if for any reason you find it difficult to sleep, turn your night into prayer and Satan will help you sleep. That's one of. You don't need Valium. You don't need a pill. Convert it to prayer. And Satan in his tender mercies will minister sleep to you.
Satan will help you sleep. Can you imagine from a man of God?
I began to pray. And I fell into a trance. And I saw 12 men. The garment they were wearing was like silk curtains. And they were high up into the heavens. When they spoke, their voice was like thunder. Smashing. And I came close and I recognized one of them. The only one I was given grace to recognize was the man John Knox. So when I saw that John Knox was there, I knew it was a pack of intercessors that were made perfect. People while on earth were intercessors, but they had died and were in the heavens. I was given grace to hear what they were demanding, and what they said was that as intercessors, when we were men, you promised us that you would do so, and so in our territories. Then I now realized that they were all intercessors in Europe. That you would do so, and so in our territories. We have been watching, and what you said you would do, you have not yet done. And if
the dead now talking to him. What do you expect? When Satan put you to sleep, Satan help you to sleep. So everyone can imagine the kind of dreams one will have. Stay tuned.
you hear their demands and their voice, it was like thunder. Then I saw a committee that was set up. That was the first night. Okay. Second night, I was still not able to sleep. I fell into a trance again.
Even it wasn't in the history of our Lord Jesus Christ that he fell into a trance every day.
Second night, there was a committee that was set up. Committee of like 8 men. I only recognized 2 people, Abraham and Joel, Prophet Joel, on the table. Now, you might ask me, how do you recognize these things? In heaven, there is an inbuilt discernment system. That's why on the Mount of Transfiguration, there was no need for introduction. When they came into that atmospheric environment, discernment was inbuilt, and they knew that this was Moses and this was Elijah. Are you with me? All right, so I was able, meanwhile, It's the extent to which heaven wants you to discern that you will discern anyway. So the identity of Abraham was revealed. I knew, as if I knew him and Joel. But there were 6 more men. No matter how I tried, I did not know their identity. And they formed a committee to check for people from the continent of Africa that could be used to meet the cry that these men were crying. Angels were attached to this committee to work with them. Each angel was given a lamp, like handset. Like this. This was how the angels held it. And when they come over a city and they flash it like this, many colors will begin to appear on people's heads. Meanwhile, they were looking for yellow. And on the entire continent of Africa, yellow was scarce. There are many things about the encounter that is still difficult for me to understand. What does yellow mean? I don't know that. Yellow was scarce. The vision finished. The next day, 3rd day, I prayed again. Fell into another trance.
Imagine, fell into trance every day. And he's not a prophet, oh. He's an apostle. Oh.
I recognized myself. The other people. So there was an elaborate screening. Past the first screening. I scored high. If I'm not mistaken, I was the first. 2nd screening was the next night. I was the first. 3rd screening, next night, I was the first. 4th screening, the next night, I was still the first. I became confident. And then I was to be screened out at the 5th level. One of those elders on that table, because the conclusion was that screen out. One of the elders now stood up. I said, I know this man. And I don't know that elder. I've had a few heavenly encounters, recognized people, but I don't know that elder. It was on the basis of his recommendation. And he insisted that this one cannot be screened. So I greeted. My morale came down. Then the 6th stage was the final stage. And I was still the first.
I hope you guys didn't miss the stories. So they recognized him and they said they wanted him, they chose him. So he was the first, he scored number 1. They choose again, he scored number 2. They choose again, he scored number 3. Now they said they wanted him in United States, in UK and all that. He doesn't know who we introduce him. So you see the advertisement now. You see the hype. Look at the people in the room. They were just lost because they don't even know where he was taking them to. So how this one now help the audience, I have no idea. Stay tuned.
So when I went into it, the laser came on me and it printed out. Printed, United Kingdom was number 1. Ghana was number 2. South Africa was number 3. Then I didn't know anybody that would invite me to the United Kingdom. Do you understand that? You know, if it is God, your hand should not be involved. If you manipulate to open doors for yourself, you are doing your own ministry. You are not in service. I got a first invitation to London during the early time when that COVID broke out. Just spent 4 days. I came back because I was still in the service. The next time I went to the United Kingdom, I had resigned. So then we now held the program in Scotland. And I told them, where is John Knox? Where did John Knox stay? They say it's in Edinburgh. I said, take me to his grave.
So he went to the grave of John Knox because he wants power. He wants to be like John Knox. He went to his house. Stay tuned.
So when you come, they'll explain, this was where he used to do this was where he used to do this was where he used to do this. So we now went upstairs, saw his study room, his chair was still there, his table was still there. And other tourists were leaving. I remained back, and suddenly a fire dropped up on I know you will not believe it, but I'm telling you my own story. A fire. It dropped. Then I knew it was his house we're supposed to go, not his grave. He dropped. It burned on my head for 45 minutes. And I knew that thing for which they cried, it had started. From that day when the fire came, miracles flow like with ease. Miracles. Signs and wonders. Things are prayed for.
You just heard it now. And the same Arome Osayi said that God told him that he will not heal a deformed face. Can you imagine? How can fire fall on you? You saw Father Abraham, you saw John Knox, you saw Prophet Joel, and your life remained the same. And fire fell on you, was burning on you for 45 minutes. He said there were signs and wonders. If you see any, let me know in the comment section. Because if there were signs and wonders, Nigeria will not be the way it is. They will not be collecting people's money. They will not be doing conferences, crusade everywhere, no peace for them because of money. They will not be hiring gospel artists that is charging them 10 million, 6 millions. I see you, my people, on my next video. Bye for now. Don't let this man deceive you anymore. 2024, no way. No more lies.
Which he wanted to use you to do.